Hi, my name's Travis Miner. Thank you so much for taking the time to learn a little bit more about our Get It Done program, which runs this year, 2022, from August 15th to 18th at Concord Carlisle High School from 9 a.m. to noon and from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am here with our remarkable team of instructors for this program, Drs. Allison Nowicki and Dr. B. LaPrette, to talk a little bit about how this program works so you can see if it might be a good fit for your student. Let's start with learning a little bit about what's the goal of Get It Done and for whom is it likely to be a good fit? Allison, could you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So the goal of Get It Done is really what the title suggests. It's to get it done. We want our students to get their applications and essays as complete as possible by the end of their 4 days with us. And for those, the students that it works best for are, I would say, those who are exceptionally busy in the fall. Perhaps you don't have a lot of extra time, or maybe you just like to have an adult with you as you're completing your application, writing your essay. There's somebody there that can answer questions quickly. Um, but as I said, the goal of it is really to get as much done as possible. So for anyone that is worried about the amount of time it could take you to complete all of this, we offer you that time with instructors who have a lot of knowledge about the process.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And B, could you tell us a little bit about how this actually works?
Absolutely. The first day is the days are in 3 hour sessions. And the first day is really the day that Allison walks the kids through the common application, all of the pull downs. What we find is a lot of our kids who meant to start on their own, but they get nervous with some of the early drop downs and they kind of stop. And that's when they come to us for our program, and Allison walks them through all the all the sort of minutia of the common application. It is more complicated than the paper common app that we had in the 1980s. It takes longer, it's harder, not harder, but just it takes more steps to load, to fill out, and it just takes seat time. It takes a good 3 hours of clicking and pulling down and filling out for the kids to even get to a place where they can start writing. After the first day, almost all our students are in a place where they can start tackling the writing piece, the more extensive writing piece of the application process. And so at the start of the second day, I help the students set up a grid where they document all the different ways that they're going to have to write. Not only are almost all their applications going to require the single 650-word essay, or the big kahuna, as we call it. Many of the schools that our kids apply to have sometimes what's known as supplement questions, but also sometimes little things hiding out in the application called questions that can be up to 100 words or even more. So on the second day of our program, we have our kids go through all of the colleges that they've loaded into the Common App to find all of their future writing requirements. And they put them on a grid and they chart what's due when, how many words they require, what genre of writing. Some There is some overlap sometimes, write about your favorite activity. Sometimes the kids can double dip with some of these writing supplements. So we want the kids to chart all that first so that they know what's happening. And then over the course of the 3 days that they have, they dig into their writing. Allison and I ask them really to make sure they start with their big essay, because that's often the scariest and we don't want them putting it off. And so we work with them on their big essay. We hope that they're done with their big essay by the end of the third day, so that by the fourth day, they can start tackling all those smaller writing assignments, some of which will overlap.
And could you each tell us just a little bit about how do you each help with the applications and the essays respectively? Maybe you could start talking about the applications, Allison.
Sure, I think actually B introduced it pretty well. My role is to sort of help students with those questions that they have in the moment. We often get things like, I don't really understand what this question is asking, or, when I talk about field hockey, how do I describe that? Because that's one of the questions they will ask you, is to describe the activity. What am I supposed to say? I hit a ball around with a stick, right? So we talk them through some of the answers that they can give. And I will also look at the whole Common App to make sure that we've got green check marks, make sure everything is completed. I will look at their list of activities to make sure that it looks complete. And at the end, I also will help students, once they've sort of gotten through the application piece of things, I'm available to help students think about essay topics. I often do that with my own students in my work. You know, we just sort of start a conversation, I ask them questions, and ultimately they tend to leave with at least a few different directions that they might want to go with an essay, or perhaps it's not even the big essay, but one of the supplemental essays as well.
So throughout the program, Allison and I really both divide our roles and share roles. And Allison is an expert at tackling essay questions. A lot of kids sort of run ideas through her. She's seen it all. She speaks with college admissions officers every week. And so she knows acutely what they're looking for. And my expertise comes in terms of the structure of the essays, you know, the sort of sentence level issues, which of course Allison does well as well, but we do a lot of crossover in that. And it's great to have two pairs of eyes. Usually we're strangers to these kids, and it's great to have two pairs of eyes on their writing, because in fact, they're having strangers read their work. And so it's a very authentic piece of feedback for the kids. And by the fourth day, they know us and they're not afraid of us, and they can sort of hear what we're telling them.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I know you both have so many pearls of wisdom to offer the students that you work with. What might be one piece of advice you would each give them about their college application or their essay?
My piece of advice is to not procrastinate, to leave enough time to get all of this done. It takes way more time than anyone expects. The advice that I give to my students is treat it like an additional class. You need to give it time, if not every day, most days of the week. And it doesn't have to be a lot, but an hour here and there, and it will feel like a very manageable process. But if you leave it all to the end, you're going to be overwhelmed and anxious, and you're going to worry, and it may not get done in time.
And my advice is really to listen to Allison, because it truly is the heart of this program was trying to give kids the space, the 12 hours to sit and get it done, that would alleviate all the stress that Allison is talking about. So I can't say enough about how much I believe in this program for the sake of kids being able to enjoy their senior year, and also being able to feel like they did their very best in this process, and that they can sort of put the rest out to, you know, out to the spirit world, but that they did their best, they got it done, they took their time, and they'll feel good about it.
Thank you both so much for the work you do to support your students. And if you watching this video are interested in signing your student up, you can register right here on our website at opendoor.education. And again, Get It Done takes place this year, 2022, at Concord Carlisle High School, August 15th through 18th, so 4 days. And we're running one program from 9 a.m. to noon and another from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Thanks so much. We hope to see you in the fall.